for battle to domestic violence.
Put your hands behind the box.
You got handcuffs.
According to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, Davis was taken into custody after an impromptu hearing and will now finish his 3-month sentence in jail. WJZ is working to confirm why his sentencing has...
Gervonta Davis faced more trouble after collapsing suddenly on the court. This happened right after he received a new punishment for breaking the rules once again. The boxing champion was in court in Baltimore, where he was charged with 2 separate offenses. The first charge was related to a hit-and-run incident from a few years ago. Surprisingly, Davis seemed careless with his previous punishment and came dangerously close to being sentenced again.
Gervonta Davis, Mr. That's it, we finally got you up here.
Yes, Judge, thank you very much.
No problem.
However, it was Davis' collapse in the courtroom that caught the judge's attention, especially when combined with his past case. On top of that, Davis has also been dealing with bribery accusations after a recording surfaced, revealing a conversation between him and referee Steve Willis during his last fight. There were several disagreements, and the recording seemed to show something went wrong. But Davis' lawyer argued that since the New York State Athletic Commission had dismissed the case, it should be considered invalid. The controversy continues after the fight between Davis and Lamont Roach. On March 1st, Davis defended his World Boxing Association lightweight title at the Barclays Center in New York. Many fans expected an easy win for Tank, but the fight didn't go as planned. Lamont Roach had a strong showing throughout, leading to a controversial moment in the 9th round. Davis unexpectedly took a knee and retreated to his corner. The referee started a count, but then chose to stop, not counting it as a knockdown. Tank later explained it was because of grease in his eye. The fight ended in a majority decision draw with the judges scoring it 115-113 for Davis and 114-114 twice. If Roach had been given a 10-8 round in the 9th, he would have been crowned the new World Boxing Association lightweight champion.
What Tank did that when he took the knee? What do you think when he took the knee?
I can't. Yes, we
Can't think on that?
Yes.
You did some book though?
I can't think.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't.
It has now come to light what Roach said to the referee during that controversial moment. He urged, "Keep counting, keep counting." Roach later explained what was going through his mind at the time. The referee started counting, but then I saw Davis get up and go to his corner. I got confused. I was focused on the referee's count, but when I looked over and saw Davis in the corner, I thought, what's going on? I felt like that should have been a knockdown, so I asked the referee, why did you stop counting?
You gotta calm down. Hey, come on now. We're trying to get it.
Roach's team officially appealed the verdict, but the New York State Athletic Commission decided to uphold the original result. Despite this, Lamont Roach Jr.'s confidence is through the roof. You might think that after the commission denied his appeal to change the controversial draw from his March 1st fight against Davis, Roach would back off. But instead, he's still taking shots at Tank every chance he gets. His frustration is understandable, but at this point, a rematch is what both sides seem to want. So why not just sign the contract and settle it in the ring? Well, it looks like there's still some trash talk to clear up before that happens.
Davis.
And, Your Honor, Mr. Hassett and I, assuming the court finds probable cause, we have an agreement.
Good morning, Judge Kenneth Hassett.
It's not just about the fight anymore. Recently, Lamont Roach Jr. got into a heated online argument with fellow boxer Lorenzo Simpson, who supported Tank Davis and claimed Davis would knock Roach out in a rematch. Instead of staying calm, Roach fired back, trying to show off his wealth by throwing down a $250,000 bet. He said, "Yay, $250K, just like I bet your role model. If you can show it to me, we good money, little guy." Roach's confidence is undeniable, but now he's taking things even further. Just hours ago, he casually threatened Davis in an Instagram post. Ring magazine even highlighted Roach's latest social media post.
Off of niggas and not whistling, not playing. Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. So we elsewhere with that shit.
Lamont Roach Jr. hinted at a potential rematch with Gervonta Davis in an Instagram post today. The caption read, "The 25-1 boxer said in the post, I showed that I was a pound-for-pound talent against a generational star in the sport. I was born a star, but March 1st, a star was finally under the microscope of the world. I can't wait to run it back and put on a show again." So why does Roach consider himself a pound-for-pound talent? For starters, many people remember the 9th round moment when Davis unexpectedly took a knee. While Tank insists it wasn't a punch but rather a mix of hair grease and sweat that caused him to take a knee, some fans believed the explanation, but many still gave Roach credit for the way he handled the situation, calling it a non-knockdown that showcased his skill.
Just off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight. I think.
Is that one moment enough for Roach to believe he's better than Davis? Probably not. Another reason his confidence is through the roof could be Ring Magazine's latest pound-for-pound rankings. Devin Haney has taken Davis' spot, and ESPN now has Roach ranked at number 6 in the 135-pound division. That kind of recognition can definitely boost a fighter's confidence. As for Gervonta Davis, is he doing anything about all this? Yes and no. After initially saying he wanted a rematch by the end of May, Davis has gone radio silent, which is unusual for him. Tank is usually quick with the trash talk, but this time, the 30-year-old has kept quiet. When a fighter like him goes silent, it often means he's planning something big.
Like, the key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. Just really saddened me a little bit. But I wasn't too hung on.
If this rematch happens, and Roach's promoter Gary Jonas insists it will, it could finally deliver the fireworks fans expected the first time around. But the real question is whether Davis is plotting a stronger comeback or if he's already looking for the exit door. Gervonta Davis has already hinted that he has only 3 or 4 fights left before he calls it quits for good. And let's be honest, if he's nearing retirement, he's going to want to chase the biggest payday possible. Now, think about it. Does a rematch with a relatively unknown fighter like Lamont Roach Jr. bring in the kind of money Davis is after? Or would he make a lot more by locking in fights with bigger names, like Shakur Stevenson? It's a tough call, and it'll be interesting to see how Tank navigates his next moves.
The decision of the New York State Athletic Commission, I kind of accepted my fate just a little bit. I had a lot of hope, though. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of hope, but...
Funny enough, Tank originally dismissed the New York native, Lamont Roach, saying he hadn't done enough for the sport of boxing. However, in a recent sit-down with NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, Davis seemed more open to the idea of a fight. A match with Ryan Garcia would also be a huge moneymaker, but it's not happening anytime soon. Garcia first has to get past Raleigh Romero on May 2nd, and if he wins, he'll likely face Devin Haney, assuming Haney defeats Jose Carlos Ramirez the same night. So, Tank versus Garcia 2 is a possibility, but it's going to take some time, and Tank might not have that much time to spare. Roach has been all over him, even while Davis has been dealing with his court case, adding more pressure to the situation.
In my view, that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just.
On Wednesday, a Baltimore judge spared World Boxing Association lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis from jail time after he admitted to violating his probation for a hit-and-run that injured 4 people, including a pregnant woman. Circuit Judge Alia M. Handy extended Davis' probation for 18 months and required him to make a $1,000 donation to the Community Assistance Network. Davis, now 30 and living in Parkland, Florida, admitted that he traveled without approval from his probation officer. His probation agent in Maryland happened to spot him dining at Proper Cuisine on East Redwood Street in downtown Baltimore on January 22, less than half a mile from the Clarence M. Mitchell and Elijah E. Cummings courthouses. Judge Handy noted that Davis' probation agent in Florida had been lenient in the past, approving travel passes for him to visit the U.S. Virgin Islands twice.
We elsewhere with that shit. And niggas dick eating like they start, like, come on. When I start wearing chrome heavy and showing shit off, and that's when niggas start wearing.
Judge Handy also mentioned that she had granted Davis permission to attend the 2024 Paris Olympic Games to support and advise Team USA Boxing. However, she denied his request to travel to Japan for his 30th birthday. She stated that she didn't believe additional jail time would serve any purpose, saying, "I don't like sending anyone to jail, sir, I really don't. But you need to wake up, please." She later added, "I don't ever want to see you in court again." In 2020, Davis was sentenced to 90 days of home detention for his involvement in the hit-and-run incident.
The home detention, people, I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property, that's why I'm sitting in jail.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Davis pleaded guilty to a hit-and-run charge in a recent hearing, marking another chapter in the legal saga for the boxer, who grew up in West Baltimore and holds an impressive record of 30-1. Davis had recently held on to his World Boxing Association lightweight title after fighting Lamont Roach to a majority draw. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty in Baltimore Circuit Court to 4 traffic offenses related to the hit-and-run. The incident occurred around 2 a.m. on November 5, 2020, when Davis ran a red light at Martin Luther King Jr. and Washington Boulevards. In his 2020 Lamborghini Urus, he struck a 2004 Toyota Solara and then slammed into a fence outside a 7-Eleven store.
Said that I shouldn't have. She wanted me to be in an apartment, a one-bed apartment.
Judge Handy sentenced Gervonta Davis to 90 days of home detention, along with 3 years of probation, stating that he had shown a consistent pattern of disobeying the law. Davis was supposed to stay at the home of his longtime coach and trainer, Calvin Ford. However, Handy later revoked his home detention after discovering that Davis had been serving his sentence in a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo in Locust Point. In a now-deleted Instagram Live, Davis called Judge Handy crazy and claimed, "She locked me up because basically I bought a property."
You know what I mean? I couldn't even, take that. You know what I mean? She wanted me to stay in a one-bed apartment because I had my kids and nothing to come visit me, things like that. Just want to spread light on this situation.
Gervonta Davis spent more than 6 weeks in jail, and during Wednesday's hearing, both of his probation agents recommended jail time. Davis's probation agent in Maryland, Kia Yangzi, shared that she often had to reach out to members of his team or his attorney just to get in touch with him. "He's a grown man," Judge Handy said, expressing her confusion over the situation. Assistant State's Attorney David Owens, chief of the misdemeanor jury trial unit, mentioned that he spoke with Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates about the case. Owens proposed a $5,000 fine as part of the sentence.
Court finds probable cause.
And Your Honor, we agreed to a $1,000 bond, no victim contact, if that's acceptable for the court.
Okay.
The Baltimore Banner thanks its sponsors, Become One. During the hearing, Judge Handy asked Assistant State's Attorney Owens, "Is there a reason you spoke to State's Attorney Bates about this matter?" Owens explained that Bates had assigned him to the case and was requesting a $25,000 fine. Handy questioned, to which Owens responded, yes. Davis's attorney, Hunter Pewitt, pleaded with the judge to spare his client jail time, arguing that Davis had completed all the special requirements of his probation and had given back to the community in several ways.
No bond, no contact. Have a good day.
Happy holidays, Judge. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Obviously, Pewitt said, it's a regrettable decision. It wasn't under the guise of doing something illegal. He added that Davis had been training and apologized for his actions. Davis also reiterated that he was focused on his training. However, Judge Handy pointed out that Davis was at a restaurant with a group of people, and his probation agent in Maryland just happened to spot him. "You weren't training," Handy said. "You were out celebrating." Davis clarified that he had been training in Washington, D.C., but went to Baltimore for dinner afterward. After 2 separate discussions at the bench, Judge Handy handed down the sentence.
I want to do the prone shit heavy. These are dick eaters. And I'm selling all my shit too. But
Judge Handy said the only reason she would want to see Gervonta "Tank" Davis back in her courtroom is if he goes to law school and becomes an attorney at AS for Davis' fight on Saturday night. His history of slow starts nearly caught up to him. He defended his WBA lightweight championship against Lamont Roach Jr., but the fight ended in a majority draw. The match took place in front of a stunned, sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Davis retained his title, but it was a fight he would likely prefer to forget. Two judges scored the fight 114-114, while the third judge gave it 115-113 in favor of Davis. ESPN also scored it 114-114. After the fight, Davis gave credit to Lamont Roach, saying, "Lamont is a great fighter. He's got the skills, and like I said before, he's got punching power. It was a lesson. Hopefully, we can run it back." In a strange moment that could have changed the outcome, Davis unexpectedly took a knee in the 9th round after being touched by a jab. Referee Steve Willis decided not to count it as a knockdown for Roach. Davis later explained that he went to a knee because grease from his hair had gotten into his eye. The fight resumed with no penalty, but that potential knockdown could have swung the momentum in Roach's favor.
On live, but I went back and I watched it, and Tank lost that fight, period. And that, even without the knockdown, he lost.
Had the knockdown been called, Roach could have won the 9th round by a 10-8 score. Instead, 2 of the judges scored the round 10-9 for Davis. "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my hair," Davis explained. "When I was sweating and things like that, it burned my eyes." Roach didn't disagree with Davis's explanation of the situation, but he made it clear that the rules are the rules. "If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown," Roach said. "If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not banking on that knockdown to win. I just thought I pulled it out."
The fight. Yeah, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was man.
Davis entered the fight as a massive favorite, with many expecting him to secure his 29th career knockout by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Fighting in front of a pro-Davis crowd, Tank was unable to deliver the highlight reel finish his fans had come to expect. Instead, Roach stood in the line of fire, absorbing the hard-hitting Davis punches and responding with shots that not only stunned Davis but also shocked the audience. The notoriously patient Davis got off to a slow start in the early rounds, waiting for Roach to make a mistake that he could capitalize on. But Roach refused to give Davis the opening to counter and take control of the fight. Early on, Davis smiled and exchanged words with Roach, but he quickly had to get serious when he realized that his opponent wasn't going to wilt under the bright lights. Roach, 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs and had fallen short, but this time, he wasn't backing down.
Like Lamont definitely won. Alright, G. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, I ain't hating on the decision.
Their careers took different paths once they turned professional, with Davis rising to become one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach became known as a solid fighter, but one who fell short in his only other world championship opportunity, a loss to Jamal Herring for the WBO super featherweight title in 2019. Davis's rise to stardom was solidified by his knockout win over Ryan Garcia in 2023, which helped him claim his spot as the face of boxing. However, he almost let that title slip away with an underwhelming performance against Roach. Their shared history may have given Davis a false sense of confidence heading into the fight, but Roach was well prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his renowned fight-ending power. By the middle rounds, Davis's smile faded as he realized that the knockout he had expected wasn't going to come easily. The champion began to let his hands go to create openings, but Roach stood firm, landing counterpunches and combinations. Davis focused almost exclusively on working the body, banging away as Roach stayed on the front foot, pushing forward without hesitation. Roach managed to sneak in a counter whenever Davis's assault stalled. In round 8, Roach stunned Davis with a counter right hand. Although Davis was never in any real danger, the punch served as a reminder that he couldn't just rush in recklessly. "I feel like I was breaking him down as the rounds went on, but he kept coming, so I didn't want to make any mistakes," Davis said. "I kept it cautious." Realizing the fight could be slipping away, the 30-year-old Davis pressed the action in the championship rounds. Although he landed some big power shots, he never came close to hurting Roach. However, his increased activity in the final rounds earned him the last 2 rounds on all 3 scorecards, allowing him to salvage a draw and leave New York with his title. Davis landed 103 of 279 punches in a very efficient showing, while Roach was more active, landing 112 of 400 punches.
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, all that good stuff. it was a draw. At the end of the day, people are unsatisfied. I feel like, I always keep it a buck.
I'm just a little disappointed in the decision, Roach said. I thought I pulled it out, but that's what two skilled fighters do. I definitely thought I won, but we could run it back. Even though I didn't win tonight, I thought I did. But it's a win for me in my book. We are not satisfied with that, we need a real W. And that's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.